Hey everyone, it's Hein here with 10.16 patch notes. I'm gonna try doing this, I don't know, every 2 weeks when it comes out. Do initial thoughts, I suppose, when Mark Yetter puts out his ideas for the next patch. So, okay, it is a large patch. I'll just be going over a little bit. It's a lot of this patch generally is geared towards pro play, so and competitive play. A lot of these champions you see here that are in the nerf are picked a lot in competitive, flexed a lot. So also we have Yone, the Unforgotten. He's coming out. I don't think he'll be seen in competitive play yet. Look to play him mid and top lane as more of a bruiser top. Tankier build, I suppose, like Rod of Ages, something like that, maybe. Alright. Kali, Q base damage increased, E damage type changed. Now that Kali's been in the shadows of the pro, blah blah. Okay, so Q 5-point strike, base damage 30, 55, 80, 105, 130 to 35, 60, 85, 110, 135. So not really much changed. A little extra damage later. I suppose it does help with her uh, ability to get and secure those kills later on in the game. She kind of struggles at that. She's good early, right? Mid game, but later in the game, in team fights and competitive play, it's not very good. Q bonus attack speed decreased later for Ashe. That doesn't really do too much from 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 to 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. I mean, that's not like stopping her from being picked. She's a reliable AD carry. I would say um, she's going to be played no matter what. Her, Caitlyn, and Ezreal are like permanently picked right now, so this isn't going away. Bard base health decreased, W maximum heal decreased. So he's been played a lot. I don't know if this changes him or stop. I don't think 15 HP is gonna stop him from being picked. People will stop doing W first though. People were starting W, giving it all to the mid laner, so the mid laner could take an uneven trade or something like that to make that an even trade with the Caretaker's Shrine. Evelyn, Q cooldown decrease, hitting a monster no longer refunds 50% of its cooldown. So Q hate spike is 8 seconds to 4 seconds, and there's no more hate. Hitting a monster no longer refunds 50% of hate spike's cooldown. So they just want to bring her into the lane, maybe. I don't think that she's really going to find her way into a lane, though. Yeah. I don't know. They had to really change something about her. At least with, like, let's say mid lane. The champions that are playing right there right now is just not favorable for her at all. If you are a Q cooldown decreased, on hit cooldown reduction decreased. Um, So they say as we near the big games, we have identified a lack of scaling skirmishers who keep the pressure on the sideline. Because of this, we want to keep if you're in a tip-top form to be able to offer teams more strategy. So I saw somebody do the math on this, and it doesn't actually change that much. Yes, level 1 it does change it 3 seconds. Okay, and level 5 it's a 6 second. So you're gonna get the level 5. You're gonna get a 6 second lunge real quick. um, it's zero point 0.2 seconds at level 5 difference, right? Um, does zero point 0.2 seconds win you a fight? I don't know. But you see, also it's higher early, so it's a weird thing that they did. So like once you hit level 4 or 5 on your Q, then it actually makes a difference. But otherwise, this doesn't do anything. Maybe this is a placebo buff to make pro teams competitive play pick her in a 1-3-1 situation. But this one there's a lot of tanks being played, so you can do that. Hecarim E bonus move speed increased over time. This helps him out a lot. A lot of his damage comes from his move speed. 100% move speed is pretty good. Uh, helps him actually get a gank off. His clear will be a little bit faster as he does use his E to help him clear. Um, he'll be able to actually arrive at Scuttles first, perhaps. Jack's E cooldown decreased. So from 16 to 4, 16, 14, 12, 10, 8 to 14, 12 and a half, 11, 9 and a half, 8. So this is just helping out his early game. Maybe have him picked into range tops. I don't know. Doesn't do anything late, right? Half a second on level 4 and nothing at level 5. No change there. So it's just an early game buff. Help him be able to survive lane a little bit easier. I don't know. Maybe we'll see something as Fiora is coming back. I don't know. Jhin passive final shot crit damage against structures increased. You know, it does help. Maybe it'll help him get turret plates faster in the early game. But I don't know if that really does a ton. So it doesn't really change whether he's going to be picked or not, I don't think. Jinx, R bonus damage now uncapped. So there was a bug, I guess, that 375 her main target against champions is now uncapped. So I guess this is going to help out her damage a lot if she's, you know, got a good position and she wants to clean up these kills in these big team fights. League is a lot of team comps and competitive are being picked for heavy team fights. So I don't know if Jinx can be found in one of these picks in competitive. It had to be most likely be put with like a Thresh or something that can get her out of danger pretty easily. Otherwise, she's pretty vulnerable. Maybe a Karma. I don't know. Karma. Q cost now flat. Cooldown increased. So this will probably, so it's Q Interflame costs 50, 55, 60, 65, 70 mana to 65 mana. Cooldown from 7, 6.5, 6, 5.5 seconds to 9, 8.5, 8, 7.5, 7 seconds. So this is going to hurt her a lot in the mid and top. Yeah, so we're trimming down her solo lane agency by pulling it back in a spell. Yeah, so this is going to hurt her a little bit. You know, she might not be picked nearly as much. She might be still picked, but just go to support instead, rather than being flexed 3 different lanes. Karthus, Q damage ratio decreased. Now that we're seeing an increase in Karthus players and higher win rates, I mean, I don't know what you expected when you did that to your E. Okay, so Q lay waste 0.35 to 0.3. That's gonna hurt him a lot. He's not gonna get played in bot lane for sure. He could still be played mid lane. I don't think that's gonna kill him, but bot lane, I think that's not gonna be played. Kha'Zix, Q isolated target bonus damage decreased. So 120% to 110%. Kha'Zix is pretty strong in solo queue. He is being picked up in competitive play as well, but I haven't seen a ton of success. There's been a couple times where like he finds a couple random kills, but junglers usually can't like clear safely without Kha'Zix threatening the invade on their second buff or something like that. So I don't know if this will actually stop people from picking him, but it does hurt his damage just a little bit. Lucian, Q damage increased, R total shots fired increased. So I don't know why they're buffing Lucian. He's going to go back into solo lanes. He's going to be a triple flex. Top, mid, and bot. So okay. Q, piercing light, damage from 85 to 120, 155, 190, 225 to 95, 130, 165, 200, 235. So they bump up his damage by 10 on his Q. And his R, the culling, total shots fired 20, 25, 30 to 22, 28, 34. I don't know how much that actually changes. You know, to be fair, he's still not that great into like the champions that are being played right now. In bot lane for sure, Caitlyn and Ashe are really good into Lucian with their range. Maybe if they gave Q piercing light higher range value, old range value, then maybe it'd be better. Maybe give him 25 attack range. I don't know. He might find his way into bot lane, but this is gonna help out his solo lanes for sure. MF, basic attack damage increase, 50 to 52. This doesn't help her. This is nothing. We're gonna Q cooldown decreased. Bot lane has been a wash with a dive heavy support, strong CC. We're helping out Morgana and shackle her protect. Okay, so 11 to 10 seconds. This doesn't change that much with CDR. You know, it does bring it down quite a bit. Rather than like 6 seconds being your max, maybe closer to 5. With CDR, 45% or something like that. So, I mean, you're gonna pick Morgana if you're in the bot lane. I don't know. Okay, whatever. She's still gonna be picked, I suppose. Maybe a bit more. Nautilus. W shield decrease. Now has been anchored as persistent in probot lanes. We're lowering his reliance. W Titan's Wrath. Shield from 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 to 45, 50, 65, 75, 85. Wow, that is actually it's 15. Oh, what is that? Yeah, 15 shield at level 1. It's pretty nuts. So yeah. Pretty insane. Sorry. Nico. Q damage increased, bloom damage increased. He stood aloft when trading wave clear against other prominent mids. Q blooming burst damage 70, 150, 160, 205, 250, 80, 125, 170, 215, 260. So just a 10 buff. Then a bloom 40 from 35, 55, 75, 95, 115 to 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. You know, she was picked in, like, she gets picked LCK sometimes, like, Faker will play him, or her. I don't know if this will change. It does help out a wave clear, yeah, a little bit. You'll see that bonus, that 10 damage bonus on level 1, that'll help you wave clear a lot better. We'll see if that actually increases her pick. You know, in solo queue, this is a really good champion, honestly. You should definitely be on the lookout for playing Nico. As long as you're not against Galio or something like that. But yeah. Nocturne. Passive cooldown increased. Enemy champions and monsters on hit. Refund increased. Okay. So, passive cooldown 10 seconds to 14 seconds. That hurts his clear. On hit cooldown refund. Basic attacks against enemy champions and monsters reduced 3 seconds. So, they wanted to get him out of lane. But this is going to hurt his clear. He already had a fast clear, and he likes the perma clear, so I don't know if he'll actually be picked in professional play. I don't know. It's gonna hurt the average player too. The Nocturne. Rakan. Our bonus move speed increased. It's 50 to 75%. A lot of Rakan players are picking things like the Shirelias, so this is actually, he's gonna be so fast. With like something like Celerity, you know, he's gonna be extremely fast. Look out for Xayah Rakan. Xayah just had a buff, I think, last patch, or maybe 2 patches ago. So we'll see if Xayah Rakan is going to be picked up more. We already have been seeing Xayah Rakan be an answer to the Ashe pick. But as it helps, you know, late game, Ashe can't really get away from Xayah Rakan. So we'll see if the next couple weeks whether this patch actually affects Rakan or not. Set W base damage decrease later, E base damage decrease later. So they would just want him to not be as strong. Blind pick. They think he's doing too much in team fights, it seems like. Because a 40 base damage decrease on Facebreaker is pretty insane late. And then a 20 at late on the Haymaker is a lot of damage taken away from him. So he might still be picked. He's good. Uh, he's good engage at setting up team, but he just won't do the main damage now. Whereas before he was just doing a lot of damage to these in these team fights. Scanner Q total damage ratio increased, cost decreased. 2.2 damage, 10 mana, just a little buff to Skarner, whatever. Syndra Q base damage decreased later. Dark Sphere 70, 110, 150, 190, 230 to 70, 105, 140, 175, 210. Now, just hitting her mid to late game. You're gonna max this first, right? So you're gonna feel that right away on level 2 even. So at level 4, you're gonna get your second level of Dark Sphere. You're gonna feel that 5 damage, not too much, but once you hit that level 4 Dark Sphere, you're really gonna feel that it's 15 damage and 20 damage. Level 5 Dark Sphere, so might stop her from being picked. Orianna is still a really good champion if you want to play something like that. Syndra Orianna. We'll see if this actually stops her from being picked. She wasn't being picked as much as Orianna, so I don't know why they didn't hit Orianna. Kind of weird. Maybe it's still in here. I don't know. Tristana. E now deals 1% increased damage per 3% crit strike. They did it was like 2% before, but that's like a lot. So up to 33% increased damage, basically. That's pretty big. It's gonna help her blow through tanks a lot easier. It's gonna mean if this bomb is on an AD carry, that AD carry is dead. Usually, I mean that's a lot of damage on an ADC if the Tristana is able to hit that explosive charge. And it doesn't say it's like on a level, it's just always. So I think I feel like Tristana is gonna go up in pick 100% from this. Veigar base MR increased, just helps him lane a little bit better. I don't know if we'll see this picked maybe into like the dive comps that people are running now. We'll see Veigar picked a little bit. See that kind of angle going on in draft, but who knows? Volibear cube bonus move speed decrease. This is really good for the jungle, I think. So it's 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 10, 14, 18, 22, 26. So Volibear has been pretty dominant the last couple patches as he's been reworked for everyone from average, right? Average to pro players. It's been picked all the time. They blind pick Volibear, like it's almost always picked and banned. I think people will still pick him where he looks good, or they're just not gonna blind pick him. So still good, but just lose out on a bit of his clear time and his ability to chase down these champions. Yasuo base MR increased, R base damage increased later. So I just want Yasuo to be able to lane against these AP champions. He does have a hard time against some casters, although those casters don't have a lot of mobility, but does help him out a little bit. And so the R, the last breath, is 200, 300, 400, 200, 350, 500. So an extra 100 base damage on his R. And that R is on a really low cooldown, maybe 20 seconds or so, late game, level 16. So we'll see if he's actually picked more often. At least in solo queue, you're going to be doing a lot more damage. If you're able to run like a Gragas or Scion or something like that, that's going to be able to knock out these champions. Maybe even you could run like Yasuo and where is he? Rakan, right? We'll see. Ziggs passive bonus damage now flat. Max damage to structures increased. Bumping up his bombing, but okay. bonus damage rated 0.3, 0.4, 0.5 to just flat 0.5. Okay, so this is just going to help out his early game a lot. Bonus damage multiplier to structures 2 times ability power to 2.5 times ability power. Yeah, he's going to be doing a lot of damage early on. It's going to make his wave clear a little bit better. To be able to farm a little bit better. And he's going to be able to get these turret plates a lot easier as well. This might be good in solo queue. I don't know if it has a place in competitive play. It's really hard to find a place for him right now. We'll see. Runes, Nimbus Cloak. Nimbus Cloak has been the go-to for both jungle and AD as a consistent offensive and defensive tool. We're lowering some of its overall strength, specifically in consideration of Smite and Hex Flash. That's not an ambiguous of a choice. 15, 25, 35%, 10, 20, 30%. So people are still going to pick it. I mean, you're not going to miss that 5% that much. It is going to hurt a little bit early for some champions, but there's, those people who do want this Nimbus Cloak are still going to want it. I don't know if this stops ADs from taking it. They want the damage instead, but I think it feels really bad when you're landing against somebody who has Nimbus Cloak and you don't. You just feel like after a teleport or something like that, top lane, just feels really bad when they have Nimbus Cloak and they just run at you like it's their job. Alright, I'm going to do a quick tier list for ADCs. As you know, I am ADC main, and I do a lot of coaching for ADCs. That's what I specialize in. So I'm going to do a quick solo queue ADC tier maker. S tier, right now, we're going to have to put Caitlyn, Ashe, Ezreal. Those are the 3 best right now, 100%. This is an old tier list. There's no Aphelios, I suppose. But Aphelios is probably going to be a B tier, maybe a C tier right now. Draven's going to be a D tier. Not very good into any of these champions. I mean, he's decent into Ezreal, but Draven right now is feeling really weak. There's better champions that do the same thing he can. Kai'Sa is going to be a C tier. Heimerdinger is going to be a D tier. He's going to be played a lot more mid lane. If you want to counter a Zoe, and you're playing mid lane, pick that. Kennen, Nico, these champions don't work in bot lane right now. Not with Caitlyn, Ashe, Ezreal. That just doesn't work. I'd say Jhin is probably A or B tier. Jhin has been seen as a pick into Ashe, as it provides this like a somewhat similar utility as Ashe. You have your root on your W. You have good long distance damage with his curtain call. So I'd like to see him up a little more. Jinx is going to be a C tier. Jinx is actually not bad. Maybe I'll move her in a B tier, but she's got to have a really good disengage support. Kalista's a B tier. Kalista's still pretty decent. Does get outranged heavily by this Caitlyn and Ashe. It is a bit difficult for her to get onto these 2 champions if they play well. Still a decent champion nonetheless. If you can get a good early lead, you can carry the game. Kog'Maw, that's gonna be a C tier as well. You're gonna need a lot of disengage. You're gonna need help, just like Kai'Sa does. Pretty heavy champion early on. If you're picking Kog'Maw, just go AP mid. It's 10 times better. MF, she's gonna be a C tier as well. She just got that buff, but I don't think that that really brings her above Kalista or Jhin or Caitlyn or Ashe. I don't think that changes anything really. Sivir is also going to get outranged. Any low range AD carries are just not good right now. These higher range AD carries with a lot of damage, a lot of slows, just are going to punish these lower range ADCs. Even though she has good wave clear, she's just not good right now. Teemo, don't pick that. Tristana, I actually think this is probably like a B tier, maybe even A tier. She does have similar range as like a Kalista early on, Jinx, right? But her attack range does ramp up, and she does scale pretty hard. That new buff under her E is very interesting. I like it. Try her out. Think she'd be pretty good. I think if you're gonna try to pick it on any champion, pick it to like Jhin. Pick it at Ezreal, maybe. Um, maybe Caitlyn, but don't pick it. I don't think it's very good in Dash, to be honest. Unless you have a good engage, she's just gonna bully you in lane. So TF, don't pick him. Twitch is gonna be a D tier as well. Twitch is just, I mean, if you're good at Twitch, you have the Man Immune build. That's pretty good. Otherwise, Twitch Yumi. That's what you want to run with him. Varus is gonna be a C tier. You know, his on-hit build is just does not do as much damage as his lethality build was doing. If you're picking him for his on-hit, you might as well pick Kalista. It's just gonna be better. Vayne will be a B tier. You can counterpick Jhin with Vayne. Vayne is a counterpick to Jhin. You're gonna win the 1v1 100% of the time on Vayne. She hasn't gotten buffed in a while, but other than that, I wouldn't pick her. Maybe into Ezreal as well. Ezreal and Jhin can get countered by Vayne here. And Xayah is probably going to be a B tier as well. You have that good disengage with your R. You did get a buff on Rakan, which makes the CC able to be land a little bit easier for you to set up these kills. So this will be my patch notes and the tier list that I made for 1016. Please like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill. I want to know what you guys want to see from me. I want to know what you guys think of this. If you guys think I should do something different. I do coach University League of Legends. I can do personalized coaching for any role. I specialize in ADC. So hope you all have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. See you later, guys.